Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about Warfare. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Okay, let me see. Reviews for this movie are off the charts. They're really, really good. Has a 94% critic score, a 93% audience score, and an A minus cinema score. So word of mouth across the board, spectacular. So that's an easy pro right there. Another pro. Let's see. Let's look at the cast. Who we got? I see Will Poulter. See him. Still remember from his Narnia days, Eustace. It's also in Where the Millers, Maze Runner, uh, Midsommar. He was Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. He was just in Death of a Unicorn. Here he is again in Warfare. So I'd say he's definitely a recognizable face. I don't know about everybody else. Noah Noah Centineo. I can't pronounce this dude's name. I'm terrible at this. Centineo. Noah. Let's just stick with Noah. He's mainly known for his Netflix stuff. You know, but he's been some. Well, he was in Black Adam. The movie that was supposed to be like the rebirth of the DCEU, like the new era, and it ended up not being that. So it was not like it was his fault or anything. But I guess because of his Netflix stuff, he is recognizable. I don't know about anybody else here. Joseph Quinn sounds familiar. Okay, this dude was just it. Oh, he's gonna be Johnny Storm in Fantastic Four First Steps. Okay. It's also in Quiet Place Day One. Was he the main guy in Gladiator 2? I think he was. Maybe. Was he? Because I know he was Maximus's kid. Oh, that's Paul Mescal. He wasn't the main guy. Okay, so it was my mistake. But you will be seeing him in Fantastic Four and the 2028 Beatles cinematic experience, where they're making four Beatles movies all coming out the same month, which is pure madness if I've ever heard heard of it. But yeah, but everybody else, I'm not sure I ever really heard of them. So yeah, but we got a few. But this Finn Bennett, okay, no, I thought he would be in a movie. But you got some recognizable faces in here, so I guess I'll label that as a minor pro. Another pro, there's no serious direct competition. I mean, there's no other war movies that are out right now. So there's that. So that's a pro, I guess. Um, but in terms of war movies in general, war movies are quite popular, but they can be extremely popular. There we go. Some of these don't really count, even though there's technically war in them, but it's fantasy stuff. We're talking real world shit. American Sniper. Yeah, I guess that would count. American Sniper tore the fuck up in early 2015. It destroyed all expectations of what a January movie could do. Up with 89 million. It was a real shock back then. Ended up being a massive, massive hit. You have that. You got Saving Private Ryan. You got Pearl Harbor. You got Dunkirk. I got ignored a decent amount of these movies. Lone Survivor was a big hit in 2013. Well, 2014, because it was limited in 2013, went wide in 2014. Glorious Bastards. Yeah, I guess I'll count that. Unbroken. Sure, not kinda. Tropic Thunder, no, because that was just a movie within a movie. I'm not counting that one. Black Hawk Down. Uh, t- 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 but yeah, there's quite a lot in here. But I know like war movies, there's a lot of them, and they can draw a serious crowd if the audience like cares enough. So yeah, I mean, I guess Civil War last year, does that count? I mean, I know like war is literally in the name, but it's not like I guess it kind of does. I mean, the last bit of that movie was literally just like felt like a war movie, but I don't know. But war movies can be popular. They can draw a crowd, so I'll label that as a pro. Okay, I guess previews. I'll label that more as a middle ground, like 1.16. I mean, this movie was never gonna hit that high in previews, so yeah, I guess these numbers like are just like whatever. So it's more like a middle ground thing. I guess I can mention who's behind this. So we got an Iraq War veteran, Ray Mendoza, but we also have Alex Garland, who's the co-director here, and this dude is responsible for Ex Machina, for Annihilation, for the movie Men, and for Civil War last year, which was A24's first big attempt to go big or go home, and it ended up working out for them because it was a hit. It was like the only bright spot of April last year. So yeah, so I say that's a good thing that he's a part of this, and in 2 months' time, he was gonna be writing 28 years later. We'll see how that does, but yeah, so Alex Garland does have like clout on his side, so I will label his name as a pro. And A24, I've talked about them enough on this channel, but they have a lot of success under their belt. Everything Ever All at Once, Civil War, Uncut Gems, Lady Bird, Hereditary, Talk to Me, Iron Claw, Moonlight, Baby Girl, yeah, Ex Machina, Midsommar, Witch, Heretic. They have a lot of successfully like movies that have been able to really break out. Recently, it hasn't been so great. I was about to show you right here. Yeah, Baby Girl and the Brutalist being like a big like, Oscar movie. I mean, that worked out for that movie. But recently, I mean, Opus that went absolutely nowhere. Death of a Unicorn underperformed, so it's not exactly on the right track. And A24's success has been a little more inconsistent than like it once was. So I'll label that as kind of A24 is kind of becoming like middle ground where they have success under their belt, but they also have some misses under their belt too. So it's kind of a middle ground thing. In terms of actual cons, there are a lot of movies out right now, all fighting for screens. This of all the four movies coming, I guess five. Well, excluding The Chosen, Last Supper Part Three, so that's the least amount of theaters, on like 2,600. So it's at a bit of a disadvantage. Plus, you have just the Minecraft movie just tearing it up right now, and then with Sinners next week. That's not going to make anything easier. So yeah, so all these movies that are out right now, all fighting for screens. Yeah, that's a con. Another con is I guess I'm not seeing a whole lot of like big old interest in this movie. No, I've never really seen it like pop off like in any significant way. And that's a problem, obviously. So yeah, so just the lack of like buzz, like strong buzz surrounding this thing, I will label that as a con. Um I don't think there's anything else. I mean, war movies, I guess war movies are kind of like a middle ground thing because they can be popular, but they can be very like hit or miss. Sometimes people care, sometimes people don't care at all. Hard to say if this will be the one where people care, but judging by early numbers, doesn't seem like it's going to be one of those movies. So, you know what? War movies, instead of about as a pro, I'll just have to be a middle ground thing. But I can't think of anything else really. So I guess we'll just go to opening weekend. Early numbers state that this will hit, let me see. Let me see. 8 million, which is not great. It's total, I don't know. I mean, word of mouth is really, really good, but I don't know if it'll be enough to really save the movie. But 20, 30 million, something like that. I think that's fair. And that's it. That's it for the weekend. Okay. So it was a pretty much a typical April weekend. Nothing that exciting coming out. Next week will be a lot more interesting. We got Sinners. With the reviews it has, it should realistically be a big hit. We also have some other movies that I may or may not talk about. We'll see. But Sinners, I'm guaranteed to talk about. And I am looking forward to not only watching the movie, but talking about it too. So stay tuned for that. But next week. But yeah, so that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. We'll check out more videos like this. I got playlists on the homepage, all previous prediction videos I made this year, the past few years. You want to watch any of those videos, you can go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for a particular month. March recap will be around next week. April recap will be in the second-ish week of May, so stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos and man the channel, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series, or whatever, all the movies that are supposed to come out but didn't. Never talked about Warfare in a video, but I made 250 episodes. You want to binge watch that whole series from beginning to end, I highly suggest you do that, so go do it. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.